Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about QUANT, and more specifically we're going to be talking about QNT token and why it is completely necessary and essential for QUANT to survive. Now, this is a salient issue because there's a lot of people, I've seen it on Reddit, I've seen it on Twitter, I've seen it everywhere. Somebody has started the rumor that QUANT does not need QNT token. And often, when I see this in threads and forums, we're outnumbered 3-1 in most cases. So this is a very a big issue, and I've realized that a lot of people are following this pattern. So I just want to give a little bit of information on exactly why QUANT needs QNT, because it definitely does. And there's lots of reasons, and I have a few reasons that you might not have thought of. So I'm going to be covering that in this video. Now, before we get into this video, I'm going to let you guys know I'm not a financial advisor of any kind, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Let's go. QUANT is not a public company. It's not a publicly traded company. It does not have shares, does not have stocks. Okay? So you cannot purchase QUANT shares, QUANT stocks. It does not exist. However, what you can purchase is QNT tokens. And QNT tokens are basically how you would invest in QUANT if you were interested in that sort of thing. And so we have to ask ourselves, what is the point of a company going public? And the point of a company going public is so they can gain capital. It is a way to raise capital for the company. So if a company wants to make money so they can continue production of X product, they might go public to raise funds, raise capital. And so what does QUANT do? Well, QUANT uses QNT to raise capital. All right, so what else do stocks do? What do stocks do for the consumer? Why would a consumer buy a stock? Well, a consumer might buy a stock because, one, they're speculating that the stock value is going to increase, or two, maybe they want the dividends, which is also pretty speculative. So what can a crypto do relative to a stock? Well, a crypto is also, people invest into crypto because it is speculative. People also invest in crypto maybe because they can get staking rewards, which is essentially dividends. And so what else is there to crypto? Well, there's the utility aspect of crypto as well. And what does that have to do with any of this? Well, the utility of a crypto incentivizes people to purchase crypto, not only for the speculation, but for its actual use case. And I'm sure you guys have heard lots and lots of use cases for crypto. And I'm going to get into what QUANT's use case is. So the question should be, why didn't QUANT go public? Why is QUANT using QNT? Well, let's imagine QUANT goes public tomorrow, and they have public shares that you can purchase. Well, now a lot of the liquidity of people who have faith in QUANT that have purchased QNT tokens are going to move to the QUANT stock. And now you're taking liquidity and splitting your base into two groups. Much less powerful. And it doesn't support the QNT use case anymore. The thing about using a coin, in this case as a stock, is kind of the main pivot point I want to go around here, is a stock is a speculative, genuine share in a company. If you own a stock, you genuinely own a share of the company, which is a benefit of holding a stock over a crypto. If you hold a crypto, and it could have an equal value to, holding a share in a company, but in the case of QUANT now combines its speculators, the people who may speculate on a stock, plus, in addition to that, also have the people who are utilizing its utility on top of that. And we're going to get into exactly what the utility is. So that's point one. QNT is utilized sort of like a means of investing into the QUANT company and their overledger, etc. So if you believe in the company, you get QUANT, they're not going to be publicly traded. It just makes sense. Moving on. The actual QUANT utility. Now I'm just going to go over this briefly. There's lots of resources out there, but essentially overledger. And I cover overledger in almost every single QUANT video I cover, so I might just briefly go over overledger utility in this video. But the point is, in order to utilize this very good technology, and by the way, I'm gonna list maybe 3 videos at the end of this. So if you guys want to go and get it more educated on the overledger and why it is actually so powerful, I highly recommend you go to the end of this video, and you check out one of those videos, or all three. All three have unique information, and I would definitely check them out. Very salient information. Go check that out. All right. Overledger in order to utilize the technology, which is very powerful, it's a very scalable solution for enterprises, for banks, for developers, whoever wants to use it. It's just the logical solution. If you want to utilize it, you have to pay. There's different payment methods. Essentially, to make it nice and easy in a nice little package, you have to pay for it in QUANT. And if you do pay for it in fiat currencies, USD, Canadian dollars, whatever you're paying for it in, that is going to get converted to QUANT instantly. So there is liquidity from people who are utilizing the utility. Those people adding liquidity to the market, and that is very bullish for QUANT. And who is using this? Right? Who is using this? We have end users are using this. So people who are utilizing any of the dApps or anything created by Overledger, they are paying QUANT. They're paying fees. Banks, already with the SIA deal that I cover in one of the videos at the very end of this, at the end of this video, go check that out. The SIA deal has over 500 banks utilizing Overledger. Enterprises that are utilizing blockchain technology, that are using Overledger, which is the obvious scalable solution, are adding liquidity. Developers, just random developers who want to use it to make their own dApps. They could be using QUANT to make a NFT marketplace. It doesn't matter. There's so much potential for this. And so MDApp creators are another very big addition of liquidity. So we have the end users, the banks, the enterprises, the developers, everything in between. All of those people are going to be adding liquidity to the market. And that is one of the biggest use cases. Now, I'm going to cover one more. This is going to be a quicker video. I'm trying to condense my knowledge into a smaller base so it's more consumable. And I know lots of people have shorter attention spans. So I'm here to appease as many people as I can and spread the knowledge, because we get people who don't want to have to look into this stuff. And then those are the ones who are on Reddit throwing FUD where they don't even understand. The gateways. So basically the way QUANT is set up to work and the way Overledger is set up to work in a lot of cases is it has these gateway operators, or gatekeepers, as you might call them. And these are essentially nodes that are connecting DLT technology to another. They are making these bridges via QUANT. So if there is a private DLT, perhaps owned by a business, an enterprise that has their own private DLT, and they want to connect it to the Overledger network, well, they can become a gateway operator. The reason people would want to make these gateways and grow Overledger is because they get paid out in fees. These people get paid out in QUANT. So I'd imagine if we didn't use QUANT, if QUANT didn't use QNT tokens, this would be a much more difficult process to automate. So not only does QNT act as a stock, not only does QUANT have an amazing utility to go along with it, but it's also a means of payment for these people who are operating these gateways, which make everything possible in the first place for QUANT. So keep that all in mind. Guys, for the end of this video, I'm just going to be covering a very, very quick Bitcoin analysis, and I'm going to be ending it off here. If you like this content, let me know down below, and make sure you go check out those videos at the end of this video. All right, so now I'm going to go do a very quick, very brief Bitcoin analysis. As you guys know, in a couple videos ago, in another QUANT video actually for QUANT News, this is a good video. I'd highly recommend watching this. We said that we're going to go up into this liquidity here, and then from this liquidity, we were going to shoot back down to these very high volume levels of support. And we did. This was from this point here, I believe. We shot right up into about 1700. As you guys can see, we're right up into the 1700 range. But we did go a little higher than usual. But what is this? What is this big chunk of candlesticks here? Well, this is a big market maker sweep of all the liquidity up here. And now what's going to happen? Well, we're going to dump right back down to where we said, down to our target. We might have a few bumps on the way, but essentially I am aiming for right down here at about the 1500 range. When I trade Bitcoin, when I trade crypto in general, I always look at the Bitcoin chart first. Because statistically speaking, and I'm a man of statistics and logic, I am looking for the best odds to make the best trade. And what happens when Bitcoin goes down? What happens to majority of the altcoins? We'll say at least 51%. Where do they go? They go down if Bitcoin goes down. And what if Bitcoin goes up? Well, at least 51% are going up. So statistically, if you know where Bitcoin is going, you know where the rest of the market is going, statistically speaking. This is a game of odds. It's how we play it. I am seeing Bitcoin looking to go down in the midterm. And I'm talking maybe the next week and a half. I'm expecting Bitcoin to definitely drop. Now, to say there's not going to be a rally would be silly. There's room to have a little rally and then a drop. The point is, at the end of the day, we are definitely going down to this 1500 level or around there. If you want to be a safer play, definitely around 15766 at these support levels that you can see here. Very easy to spot support. Even a beginner could see these. I would be looking for there for a lower risk. For a little bit higher risk, yes, we're going down here. There is a whole stew of liquidity right down here that we have untapped. It is not touched yet. So we are definitely going down. We're at least going to come in, check it out, and maybe bounce around, and maybe we can have a little rally from there. But until we get there, I'm not going to know. So we're going to make sure you guys are staying up to date with my videos. Subscribe. Make sure you got all that figured out. All right. I'll catch you in the next one.